It's not just you. Archangel Michael says they are using families as vessels now. The hour is more urgent than it appears. This is not a typical disturbance. This is not just tension in the home or friction in the bloodline. This is not just you feeling off, tired, confused, or attacked. No, something deeper, more insidious, and more strategic has unfolded in the spirit. Archangel Michael steps forward not with a whisper, but with a roar from the heavens. The enemy has changed tactics, and now he uses family as vessels. Hear this now, beloved one. What you're experiencing in your own household, in your closest relationships, in the places you should feel the safest, is not happenstance. This is no longer random spiritual warfare. This is a deliberate infestation. This is an infiltration of familial gates. The warfare has shifted from the external battles of the world to the intimate chambers of the soul. They, the dark forces that loiter in the spirit realm, are no longer attacking from outside your circle. They are cloaking themselves within it. Archangel Michael interrupts your ordinary moment with divine urgency, for the holy realm does not send messages without cause. You are not receiving this word by chance. You were drawn to it, aligned with it, summoned to it, because you are one of the spiritually targeted. You are not weak, you are not forsaken, you are marked. And because you are marked, you are monitored. Heaven watches your every movement. The enemy, too, takes notice. And now, he comes not through strangers or circumstances, but through the mouths and movements of those who share your last name. Yes, it is unsettling. Yes, it is confusing. Yes, it may feel like betrayal. But Archangel Michael says this: do not confuse infiltration with intention. They are not themselves right now. This is not a call to fear, but a call to awaken. If you felt unrest in your home, unpredictable tension, or sudden emotional shifts within those closest to you, do not ignore it. As of tonight, entire family lines are being watched, selected, and used. What once was indirect is now intimate. But you are not without weapons. Your silence will become a shield. Your stillness will become a sword. And your obedience will be the doorway to divine protection. The war is not just around you. It's moving through those you love most. Prepare, for this battle is close. Type "I am a watchman" in the comments if this message speaks to your spirit. Blessing code 4477 is now igniting around you. Archangel Michael declares with unwavering certainty, you are not imagining this. What you've been sensing, the strange shifts in atmosphere, the emotional whirlwinds in those you trust, the uneasy silence hanging between words, it is real. It is spiritual. And it has been permitted, not to destroy you, but to prepare you. You were never meant to sleep through this season. Heaven is rousing its warriors, and you, beloved, are among the few awakened. Within the next 48 hours, you will witness someone close to you shift, subtly at first, then unmistakably. It may come through a tone in their voice, a coldness in their eyes, or a contradiction in their spirit. You may think, they would never say that. They would never act like this. But they will, and they won't even realize they're doing it. Because this is not about the person. It's about the spirit behind the person. It's about the portal the enemy seeks to use through their unguarded emotions, their unhealed wounds, and their unsuspecting hearts. You must not panic. You must not retaliate. You must not respond in the flesh. This is where the divine shield must rise, and it only activates through your awareness and your authority. Authority does not shout. Authority does not defend itself. Authority observes, discerns, and commands with silent resolve. You have been entrusted with a spiritual dominion, and this dominion must be exercised not with words but with stillness, prayer, and alignment. This message is not for the masses, it is for the remnants, the awakened, the intercessors in disguise, the bloodline breakers, the spiritual gatekeepers. You are the hinge upon which the future of your family swings. You are the one called to shift atmospheres and restore ancient paths. You may feel small, you may feel weary, but the heavens have spoken. You are more dangerous to the kingdom of darkness than you realize. Emotional confusion, the unease you're experiencing, the aching disconnect within your home. This is divine disruption. God allowed the shaking because what's been dormant must rise. What's been tolerated must be confronted. The moment you begin to feel something is off, believe it. The Holy Spirit has been whispering to you through the tension. You are not paranoid, you are being prepared. Archangel Michael comes with sword drawn and angels assigned. This is not the time for passive faith. This is not the time for fleshly fights. This is a moment to align with heaven. Heaven is watching how you respond. Your silence becomes a siren in the spirit realm, a call to angelic warfare. When you hold your peace, heaven advances. When you stay still, divine reinforcements take position. This is the test. Will you react or will you reign? You've been asking for confirmation. This is it. You've been praying for signs. This is one. You've been begging God to show you what's happening, and now, the veil is being lifted. They are being used, not because they are evil, but because they are unguarded. Do not fight them. Pray for them. Cover them. But most of all, stay in position. Declare now, I will not react. I will reign. I will not panic. I will perceive. I will not fear, I will fast. For what comes next will require a consecrated mind, a clean heart, and a soul rooted in spiritual maturity. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. You've noticed it, haven't you? The strange look in their eyes. The offbeat rhythm of a conversation that once flowed easily. The growing discomfort when you walk into the room, as if your presence now carries a weight that others can't bear. This is not ordinary. This is not coincidence. This is not anxiety. This is infiltration. Archangel Michael pulls back the veil and speaks it plainly. Someone around you has been spiritually hijacked. Not in a demonic, cinematic way. Not with heads spinning or voices growling. Low, far more subtle, far more sinister. They are being used without knowing it. Their words carry weight they never intended. Their silence cuts deeper than their speech. Their mood changes infect the atmosphere like a virus, invisible, but deeply felt. You try to dismiss it. You try to make excuses. Maybe they're tired. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe it's just stress. But the spirit within you knows. It knows what your mind tries to suppress. You are not imagining this. You are discerning it. This is what spiritual interference looks like. This is what emotional manipulation in the spirit realm feels like. They don't even realize the words they're speaking are piercing you like daggers. They don't understand why they feel irritated by your presence. They don't know why their heart hardens when they see your progress. But it's not really them. It's the spirit that found access, through fatigue, through bitterness, through distraction, through wounds never healed. The tension you feel in your home, it's not psychological. It's not just relational. It's spiritual. And you, dear listener, are being torn inside. because you don't know whether to protect them or to protect your peace. You don't know whether to confront or to walk away. You don't know whether to speak or to stay silent. And in this moment, Archangel Michael whispers, observe before you engage. You've been called to something higher. That's why the pressure feels so low. You're standing between a soul you love and a spirit trying to use them. This is not the time to personalize the pain. It is the time to discern the battle. Because your heart is breaking, yes, but your discernment is awakening. Do not be baited. Do not be drawn into emotional warfare. Their words are not theirs. Their anger is not theirs. Their silence is not theirs. It is borrowed. It is spiritual. And it has an assignment to provoke you into self-sabotage, to use your empathy against you. But you will not fall. Not this time. Archangel Michael says to journal it. Pray over it. Fast through it. But do not engage it emotionally. What is happening now is a spiritual test, not to see if you love them, but to see if you love your purpose enough to protect it. You are the intercessor in the midst of interference. Hold the line. Keep your peace. Heaven is recording every reaction and preparing every reward. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. You must understand this now, with spiritual clarity and holy conviction. This is not betrayal. This is battlefield. What you are facing in your home, within your family, through the very mouths and moods of those you cherish, it is not disloyalty of the soul. It is the engagement of spirits. The enemy has no need to come through strangers when he can weaponize familiarity. He knows how deeply you feel, how much you love, how tightly you hold on to the ones you call your own. That is where the tactic lies. That is where the pain deepens, and that is where your spiritual wisdom must rise. Archangel Michael declares, the war is not with the person. The war is within the person. The enemy wants you confused. He wants you angry. He wants you suspicious. Because if he can splinter you emotionally, he can weaken your ability to hear spiritually. This conflict you are navigating is not proof of a curse. It is confirmation of your calling. And with every calling comes pressure. With every destiny comes resistance. With every anointing comes attack. You may feel you've lost control of your household. You may feel the conversations are sharp, the moods are volatile, the love feels distant. But this is not because you failed, it's because you've been chosen. And chosen ones always experience spiritual warfare from the inside out. You are the change agent, the breaker, the barrier between old patterns and divine restoration. Of course, the attack would come from within your gates, because the enemy always tries to corrupt what God is preparing to crown. This is not random dysfunction. This is a spiritual narrative. Heaven is watching to see if you will identify the battle correctly. Will you see this as betrayal, or will you see it as battlefield? If you mislabel the moment, you might engage it with the wrong weapon. And if you engage it with the wrong weapon, you might create wounds instead of victories. You persecution is you protection. Your family is not cursed. They are called. The call comes with conflict. The call adds water. And sometimes, that warfare uses the very ones who are tied to your soul to deliver the greatest confusion. But it's not their fault. They were vulnerable. They were open. They were distracted. And the Spirit crept in, quietly, skillfully, efficiently. But you, beloved, are not like them. You are awake. You are watching. You are ready. This friction you feel, this turbulence in your household, it is the birth pang of spiritual promotion. Heaven has decided it's time to elevate you. It's time to purge the atmosphere. It's time to correct generational patterns. And so, the tension was released. Not to destroy, but to reveal. Not to punish, but to prepare. The devil is a recycler of dysfunction. He loops the same patterns over and over again, hoping no one ever stops to see it. But God chose you to be the interruption. You were born to disrupt what has been quietly tolerated for decades. And for that, the enemy has marked you. But so has heaven. And the mark of heaven is better. It's brighter. It's eternal. Archangel Michael warns you, stay alert. The enemy will try to blur the lines. He will use your emotions to cloud your discernment. He will use your empathy to drain your authority. But remember, this is not about them. This is about your response. Your response determines the result. The fire in your home is not to burn you. It is to forge you. It is creating in you a weaponized peace, a holy stillness, a supernatural clarity. You are not fighting people. You are confronting patterns. You are not wrestling with flesh. You are wrestling for legacy. Say aloud now, I see the battlefield clearly. I will not confuse people with spirits. I will protect my peace while praying for their soul. Type I am a line breaker in the comments if this message is for you. Blessing code 3033 is aligning your house. Here's something shifting, something stirring, something silently ringing the service. Archangel Michael sounds the trumpet now. Something is building. The spiritual pressure is intensifying. What's been hidden in glances, cloaked in silence, pressed as mood swings, is about to erupt. This is not to scare you. This is to prepare you. Within the next 72 hours, something is going to be said. Something is going to be revealed. Something is going to try to push you out of alignment. But you were warned in time. You must now understand. This is not just relational. This is spiritual collision. The atmosphere in your home, the tension in your circle, the friction in your bloodline, they are symptoms of a larger plot. The enemy is orchestrating a spiritual provocation. He wants to bait you. He wants to rattle you. He wants you to respond prematurely, emotionally, carnally, because your reaction is the access point. But listen, chosen one. Archangel Michael says, do not retaliate. Do not accuse. Observe. Fast. Prepare. You will hear words that sting. You will sense spirits that provoke. But they are not your assignment. Your assignment is discipline. Your assignment is discernment. Your assignment is silence. Because silence in this season is not weakness, it is warfare. When you remain still, the Holy Spirit speaks louder. There is a voice that will try to provoke you. It will come through someone you love. It will sound like accusation. It will feel like rejection. It will taste like betrayal. But that voice, it's not them. It's the Spirit working through them. This is the hour of agitation. This is the final attempt to pull you off your post. To get you to speak out of hurt. To get you to move out of fear. But you will not be moved. Archangel Michael reveals that the enemy has crafted a plot. a web of misunderstandings, a sequence of conversations, a spiritual trap designed to pit you against your own destiny. But it will fail because your eyes are open. You've heard the warning. You've been equipped. And now, you stand ready. This is where heaven watches. This is where angels hold their breath. Will you react, or will you reign? Will you defend yourself, or will you let the Spirit do it for you? Because when you choose silence, heaven chooses violence against every demonic structure that tried to destroy your household. You must fast, even if only for a day. You must pray, even if through tears. You must hold your position, even when everything in your soul wants to fight back. The enemy is not after your peace, he's after your position. But what he doesn't know is that you were warned in time. Declare it now. I will not take the bait. I will not lose my crown for conversation. I am not here to win arguments. I am here to win territory. Type I am unmovable in the comments if you're standing through this. Blessing code 8888 is guarding your next 72 hours. There is a spiritual principle not often taught, but crucial in this moment. Heaven fights when you do not argue. Archangel Michael reveals this now, not as a suggestion, but as a sacred strategy. You've been tempted to explain yourself, defend your heart, clarify your intentions. But listen closely. The desire to be understood in the flesh is often the trap that delays victory in the spirit. This is not the time to be heard. This is the time to be hidden in divine protection. You are in a spiritual atmosphere where words are weapons, not just the ones spoken to you, but the ones you are tempted to speak in return. Do not give the enemy your voice. Do not give him your reaction. Pull back, not in fear, but in fire. Pull back to protect the gates of your home. Pull back to guard your peace. Pull back to signal to heaven that you are not fighting flesh. You are aligning with angelic defense. You must now disconnect emotionally without disconnecting spiritually. This is a higher level of maturity. This is kingdom warfare. You are not abandoning the people you love. You are anchoring yourself in God so they don't pull you into a war that isn't yours. This requires a different kind of strength, one that doesn't swing the sword, but instead raises the shield of silence. Listen more than you speak. Watch more than you worry. Pray more than you pursue resolution. You're not trying to win an argument. You're maintaining a divine position. You're holding space for heaven to intervene. And Archangel Michael assures you, the angels have been released, but they only fight when you refrain from doing it yourself. Your obedience creates a firewall. Your restraint builds a fortress. You must remember, your emotions are not the enemy, but they can be exploited by the enemy. When you respond in spirit, not in self, you lock every access point. You confuse every monitoring spirit. You blind every demonic observer. Because the enemy cannot interpret silence. He thrives on chaos, but he stumbles in quiet. In this moment, the Archangel places a fiery hedge around your household. Not a symbolic hedge, a supernatural firewall that repels the spirits trying to use your loved ones against you. But that hedge requires your cooperation. You must not entertain the drama. You must not take the bait. You must not engage unless the Spirit instructs you to speak. Because every word that proceeds from your mouth right now is a seed, and heaven is watching what you sow. Say this aloud now. I will not be baited. I will be covered. I will not fight flesh. I will activate angelic force. You must understand, your peace is not passivity. It is power. It is precision. It is the proof that you trust God more than your own ability to manage this chaos. The world screams to react. The spirit realm rewards restraint. Archangel Michael reminds you, when you choose peace, heaven enforces war on your behalf. That's the divine exchange. Your silence becomes a signal. Your stillness becomes a weapon. And your obedience becomes a call to reinforcements in realms unseen. Your home may not feel peaceful right now, but that's why your posture matters even more. Do not mirror the atmosphere. Shift it. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer. You are the spiritual covering. You are the authority. And every time you withhold your flesh, you unleash your faith. Type I am covered in the comments if this resonates with your current battle. Blessing code 4242 now wraps your home in divine flame. Now listen, and listen well. You are not who they remember. You are not the version of yourself they used to manipulate. You are not the person they once controlled with guilt, with shame, with family history. You have evolved, and that evolution is disturbing the very spirits hiding inside the ones closest to you. You're rising now, not just in mindset, in spirit, not just in voice, in vibration. And that rise is triggering. It is unsettling. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because you've done everything right. You've begun to heal. You've begun to see. You've begun to separate. And darkness does not like losing ground. Archangel Michael speaks boldly. Your rising disturbs the stagnant. Those who have made peace with dysfunction will see you as a threat. Those who have been content with spiritual sleep will resent your awakening. You're not trying to be better. You're trying to be free. But freedom offends those still bound. So expect the friction. Expect the coldness. Expect the strange reactions. It is not rejection. It is resistance. And it confirms your growth. You are being formed in fire. Not punished. Not abandoned. Voided. Every misunderstanding is a blade against your wings. Every harsh word is a refining flame. Every awkward silence is a hammer shaping your armor. You are not collapsing. You are crowning. And the ones who are being used to test you don't even see the coronation taking place in the spirit. Heaven has decreed this. You were chosen to break this. You were chosen to reset the spiritual climate in your family, to interrupt the generational cycles, to clear the smoke from ancestral altars. The warfare isn't because you're cursed. The warfare is because you're first. The first to see clearly. The first to respond spiritually. The first to fight back in silence and truth. The confusion is part of the crowning. You're feeling isolated, misunderstood, emotionally raw. That's what birthing feels like. This isn't rejection. This is realignment. This isn't conflict. This is consecration. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Archangel Michael declares, what they resist in you is what they refuse to fix in themselves. Do not personalize their projections. Do not internalize their silence. Stand, rooted, empowered, unapologetically aligned. Say aloud, I'm being born again in the silence. I'm being forged in stillness. I am becoming who they never expected, and who the spirit realm feared I'd find. If this message is empowering your walk, consider supporting this channel with a super thanks. Even a gift of $10 helps us deliver more revelation, guidance, and truth. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am crowning in the comments if you feel this transformation happening in you. Blessing code 7272 is now breathing strength into your soul. There is a moment in every lineage when heaven chooses one. One to stand. One to see. One to break the silence, confront the cycles, and ignite the reversal. That one, beloved, is you. Archangel Michael reveals with holy finality. You are the intercessor your bloodline prayed for. And though the weight is heavy, the mantle is divine. You were not an accident. You are an answer. This is why it hurts the way it does. This is why you've been targeted so specifically. The enemy isn't just reacting to your prayers. He's reacting to your position. Your name was written on this moment long before you knew what intercession even meant. You have been chosen to turn the tide, not just for yourself, but for every soul connected to your last name. Understand this deeply. This season had to turn inward. They had to confront the very roots of your story. Because elevation is never external first, it is always internal. You are not just going to new levels. You are becoming the gate through which heaven breathes on your entire bloodline. That's why the enemy has been relentless. That's why the warfare feels personal, because it is. You are the spiritual gatekeeper now. Not just for your household, but for your heritage. Your discernment is opening doors. Your silence is unlocking realms. Your obedience is unlocking favor for generations you may never see. Archangel Michael affirms it. The gates of hell tremble when a chosen one becomes obedient. And that is who you've become. Not perfect, but obedient. Not always strong, but always surrendered. Every strange attack, every emotional shift, every confusing silence from those you love, it's all been a divine setup to awaken you, to show you what was hidden, to align you with heaven's timing. You have not missed your moment. You are the moment. What you feel now, that unbearable pressure, that inner stretching, that sense of being spiritually torn, that is the press of purpose. That is the groaning of divine emergence. You are the first to see, the first to break, the first to rise, the first to lead, the one who carries the double-edged weight, the pain of the past and the promise of the future. You are heaven's interruption to generational bondage, and that comes with a price. But oh, beloved, it also comes with power. There's a gate in the spirit, right now, and it's partially open. And the only thing it's waiting on is your response. Will you stay in offense, or will you step into alignment? Will you keep rehearsing the wound, or will you carry the weapon? You are not here to win arguments. You are here to win access. Access to divine blueprints. Access to heavenly reinforcements. Access to generational restoration. Archangel Michael whispers, heaven has written your name on this moment. And no matter what spirits rise, what voices challenge, or what familiar tensions resurface, the mark of God on your life cannot be erased. You are divinely embedded in this timeline, chosen for this war, destined for this breakthrough. Say it now with spiritual fire. I am the answer to ancestral silence. I am the one who was born to intercede. I will not fold. I will not faint. I am aligned with heaven. Type I am the one in the comments if this truth settles into your bones. Blessing code 6363 is now moving through your bloodline. This is the turning point. This is the moment where alignment is no longer optional. This is the hour where hesitation becomes a liability. Archangel Michael speaks now with thunder in his tone. Now is the time to say yes, fully, boldly, without apology. No more delay. No more back and forth. No more checking the temperature of others before stepping into what God has assigned you to do. Heaven is not asking for perfection. Heaven is demanding decision. Activate your anointing now. Not by performing, not by proving, but by declaring. Your voice is a key. Your agreement is a sword. Your stillness is a signal to the heavens that you are ready to occupy what hath been promised. Say it aloud. I am the answer to what cursed my family. Because you are the pivot point, the divine shift, the holy resistance in a line of tolerated trauma. Do not delay. The longer you wait, the more doors remain ajar. The longer you hesitate, the more the enemy has access to stir confusion in your atmosphere. Every hour of indecision is an unlocked gate in the spirit. And right now, the angels are standing by, waiting on your command, your alignment, your yes. You are not here to rebuild relationships that God is temporarily breaking to show you the truth. You are here to rebuild the temple, the sacred structure of purpose, peace, and prophetic authority that your lineage forgot how to sustain. You are not here to argue with the stones. You are here to rebuild the altar. And the altar can only rise when your obedience does. Heaven is waiting on you. And when you say yes, fully, you will begin to feel divine movement in places you thought were dead. Your mind will clear. Your atmosphere will shift. Your sleep will deepen. Your spirit will settle. Because alignment births angelic movement. You will not have to chase peace. Peace will chase you. You will not have to fight for respect. Heaven will command it on your behalf. You're not just stepping into your calling. You are stepping into your inheritance. The spiritual birthright that was sabotaged in previous generations is being handed back to you. Not because you earned it, but because you said yes. And that yes, that full yes, is the key. Do not retreat. Do not cower. Do not dilute your voice for the comfort of the compromise. Rise. Respond. Reclaim. You are not meant to walk in circles. You are meant to occupy spiritual territory. This is your land. This is your legacy. And this very moment, is your activation. Say it aloud. I say yes to alignment. I say yes to authority. I say yes to becoming the vessel heaven can trust. Type my yes is unstoppable in the comments if this activation is your agreement. Blessing code 1155 is unlocking what was delayed. There is a realm beyond your vision. A dimension beyond your comprehension. A place where your silence speaks louder than any stream, where your stillness thunders louder than any step. Archangel Michael now opens your understanding. While you weep, heaven writes. While you rest, angels war. What looks like stillness in your physical world is an earthquake in the spiritual realm. You must know this. Your tears are not wasted. Your restraint is not forgotten. Every moment you chose silence instead of retaliation, every time you walked away instead of striking back, every breath you held when you could have cursed what hurt you, heaven recorded it. And in that silence, in that surrender, a divine exchange began. You are not broken. You are being bartered for breakthrough. Every silent cry had been transcribed in the courts of heaven. Every sleepless night became ink in God's journal of justice. The exchange is this. The enemy traded your peace. Heaven is trading it back for purpose. You lost rest, but you are gaining revelation. You endured confusion, but you are receiving clarity. What looked like abandonment was, in fact, divine adoption. Archangel Michael reveals a mystery. Your ancestors see it. Those who came before you, those who groaned under the weight of generational torment but could not rise, they are witnessing this exchange. They see what you are carrying. They see the mantle heaven placed on your life. And they weep, not with sorrow, but with holy joy, because you are breaking what broke them. You are finishing what they never got to start. There are negotiations happening in the spirit right now. Legalities being reversed. Spiritual covenants being canceled. Old contracts of generational bondage are being dissolved because of your stillness. You thought nothing was happening while you sat in silence. But in the unseen realm, angels were summoned. Agreements were shattered. Chains were snapped. Heaven was busy because you stood still. You feel agitated, not because you're wrong, but because your spirit is in motion while your mind still lingers in old patterns. Your soul is catching up to your calling. You're in transition, and transitions are never comfortable. But this discomfort is not danger. It is divine construction. Something sacred is returning to you. Not just peace, but purpose. Not just rest, but reign. Archangel Michael whispers, God is reclaiming what was compromised, without you lifting a hand. That's the divine reversal. You don't have to fight. You don't have to force. You just have to stay aligned. Every time you choose not to match energy with the chaos in your house, heaven matches grace with your name. You are part of a quiet war, and the victory is already unfolding. This is the silent exchange, the sacred shift, the heavenly barter system where your obedience is currency. And you, chosen one, have paid in full. Now the heavens are releasing what belongs to you: strength, insight, authority, and restoration. Not just for you, but for everyone who will walk through the gates you've opened with your stillness. Declare this with boldness. While I rest, angels work. While I weep, heaven writes. While I hold my peace, God rebuilds my promise. Type I am in divine exchange in the comments if this confirms what you felt. Blessing code 5454 is surrounding your soul with fresh favor. Justice is not always loud. He is not always swift. But it is always sure. Archangel Michael now releases a holy decree over your life. The scales are being adjusted. What was tilted in favor of darkness is now being corrected by divine order. The injustice you endured, not just in action, but in atmosphere, is being weighed in heaven's courtroom. And the ruling is in your favor. The ones who allowed darkness to speak through them, the ones who let their pain become portals for spiritual interference, they will be silenced. Not by your hand, not by your words, but by the hand of the Almighty. This is not about revenge. This is about reversal. The pain you were forced to swallow is being returned as power. The sorrow that wrapped your nights is now being unwrapped into strategy. God is reversing what the enemy planted. Archangel Michael speaks with holy precision. You will not need to retaliate. God will reverse it himself. Divine justice is surgical. It doesn't destroy, it corrects. It removes without residue. It heals without delay. What has been unfair, what has been unequal, what has drained your spirit in silence, it is now being addressed in heaven's high court. This is not a moment for revenge. It is a moment for redemption. The tables are turning. The voices that mocked you are being muted. The hands that tried to restrain you are being removed. Not by your doing, but by divine order. Your assignment is not to clap back. Your assignment is to stand back. Because when God moves, he moves completely. He doesn't just silence the enemy, he elevates his chosen. You've been asking, when will they see what I've carried? And heaven answers, now. The vindication won't come through exposure, it will come through elevation. You won't need to explain anything. Your fruit will speak. Your rise will testify. Your peace will shout louder than their accusations ever did. Restoration is coming, not in pieces but in waves. Peace will return first, in power, in pavilion, and all of it will come in divine sequence. You will receive rest in places you used to wrestle. You will walk freely in rooms where you once felt suffocated. What they tried to steal, your voice, your clarity, your confidence, it is returning upgraded. Archangel Michael thunders this promise. The scales are not just tipping, they are snapping back into alignment. God does not forget. God does not overlook. And you, chosen one, are not unseen. Every injustice done to you, spoken or silent, subtle or loud, is now standing trial in the spirit. And the verdict has already been signed. Justice, restoration, reversal. Say aloud now, I do not retaliate, I reign. I do not seek revenge, I walk in restoration. I trust heaven's justice more than my own hands. If this resonates, consider supporting our channel with a super thanks. Even $5 helps us continue creating and sharing these powerful prophetic messages. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments if you feel this reversal beginning in your life. Blessing code 1212 is now releasing divine compensation. Hear this now. Let it echo deep into your spirit. You are not crazy. You are called. You are not cursed. You are covered. You are not overlooked. You are chosen. Heaven is not confused about who you are. Archangel Michael seals this final word over your life. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. Everything you've walked through, every tear, every silence, every inner war that nobody else saw, it has been building to this. You stood when others sat. You prayed when others cursed. You wept silently while others weaponized their words. And heaven noticed. God took attendance during your suffering, and your name was marked as present. Your silence was not weakness. It was warfare. When you withheld your flesh, angels stepped forward. When you did retaliate, the heavens retaliated for you. When you stayed in stillness, the courtroom of heaven ruled in your favor. You did not lose control. You gained heaven's attention. You were not abandoned. You were being watched by angels, guarded by heaven, and led by the Spirit. Archangel Michael, with sword raised and wings spread wide, speaks this over your name. Your house is now protected. Your name is now honored in heaven. Your lineage is now under divine seal. What hurt you was used to upgrade you. What broke you was used to reconfigure you. The vessel that once wounded you, whether through confusion, coldness, or chaos, will now become the proof of your rise. You are not the same. You have changed. You have transformed. You have been anointed in silence, commissioned through the fire, wired through restraint. And now you are being released. You're not walking into the future timid or traumatized. You're walking in with fire in your spirit and armor on your soul. Say this aloud, not as a whisper, but as a war cry. I am sealed. I am seen. I am sent. I forgive, I release, and I rise. You are not leaving this season empty-handed. You're leaving with power, with protection, with prophetic clarity. You're leaving with the authority of one who was forged in silence and crowned in surrender. Now walk forward. The battlefield behind you has become the launch pad beneath you. The very warfare meant to weaken you has awakened you. And now, the heavens are declaring, it is done. Type I am sealed in the comments if this blessing confirms your journey. Blessing code 7777 is now sealing your destiny with divine approval.